It's the 21st of December. Welcome to my site. I made a decision today that I'm going to talk without structure because that will be, for me, the best way forward. I do believe that it's imperative that you try to be as clear and as honest as possible in the things that you want to bring into the open. Let me ask you a question. Have you heard of the body's nervous system, either the parasympathetic or sympathetic nervous system? Well, you're looking at a body, you have yours, and here are the ramifications of not being aware of what works within yours. I have lived with a mental health disorder for more than 3 decades. In November 2023, I had to wean myself off more than 18 medications. And why did I do that? Because I was living life without any purpose. Have you ever watched a film called One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? When a convict or somebody that was convicted of something was sent to a psychiatric ward. And in that ward, there were numerous folk who were heavily sedated, comatose. And he basically interacted them. And I would say he woke them back to consciousness by, I can't remember what the theme of how he did that is, but Jack Nicholson is the main character in that film. I urge you to watch it. It does give a very interesting overview of medication and how it can impact your life. Anyway, what he did in that setting was that I don't know whether it's through medication or through, I can't remember what he did. All the patients within that unit woke up and began to live life. So why am I talking about this? I'm likening it to my state. And I'm going to say this, I'm not saying it to boast or to do anything, but I have been educated to master degree level. I live in an advanced society, what's classified as a first-class society, a world first-class society, and I'm suffering. And my culture, unfortunately, or fortunately, put me in a position whereby I took on the hues or the connotations of that culture is that you don't talk about, my background is Nigerian, is that you don't talk about certain things. And mental health is a big taboo. Nobody wants to claim ownership of it. And it's always swept under the carpet as if it doesn't exist. So I decided, I've spent all my life hiding behind the ambiguities of this ailment. I think it's time I start talking. And this is what I'm doing today. I don't know who's going to help, but I certainly know selfishly I'm looking for something to help me. Hi, Nikiog. Sorry, I just saw that this is my first time vlogging on YouTube, so I just saw your name, so hi. I will try and give you an overview of myself. I do believe I'm well spoken, I'm well educated to master's degree level, but the problem is I have a mental health disorder that disrupts everything I do in life. And one of the effects of this disorder is that sometimes you go off on a tangent, and I can see that I have been doing that while I'm talking to you. But I'll try and rein it in. And the reason why I brought this up is about a couple of weeks ago, I had a brain scan, an MRI brain scan, and 3 findings were discovered. I can't remember the names off head unless I look at my writing, but what I'm going to do is one of these findings involves the melanation of the brain. In our brains, we all have nerves that are covered in sheaths, and these sheaths protect the nerves of the brain. And when these are perforated by stress of life, communication or transmission do not work properly. That is just a brief overview. But my problem is that in spite of living in this advanced society, I cannot get treatment. So I have to, in a way, kind of re-educate myself on how to reactivate my brain. But that's the by and by. I think the main reason why I keep on talking about this is that mental health is such an elusive topic. Nobody talks about it. It has no visible signs unless you are violent, you run amok in the street, you go stackers. Then you are considered, let's look at it. If you have schizophrenia, if you have bipolar, and other ailments like that, they are diagnosable. But what about if you have something else? What about if your system has been, got distracted there. What about if your system has become deregulated, not working properly because of trauma? And that's where I am. I know that this video is not as succinct as one might like, but I think what I'm going to do here, because I'm getting quite agitated, is I'm going to stop here, regroup, refocus. All the things I wanted to talk about, I think I have more or less not talked about them. But what I want to do is to try to make sure that anything that I put out there is useful to anybody else. So I'm going to go off for now for about 10-20 minutes, and I'll come back. I apologize.